This generation,
we are inspired.
Hello and welcome, lovely viewers, to the J-Talk segment once again. And as you know, we bring you the most sensitive topics for the day. And today we are going to discuss how to identify gifts in children. And as you know, if you are a school, a church, or a children's service, and you want to feature on our program, just call the number 055 137 6979. And to sponsor this show, kindly call or WhatsApp the number displayed on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook. I am Sylvia Yakah, and today I'm going to have the discussion with a very fine gentleman who is going to introduce himself. Sir, please, you are welcome to this show.
Thank you very much, Sylvia.
Sir, please, can you tell us something more about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Benjamin Odro Ahim Jr., and I prefer you call me Bnoskka. I'm telling you. Yeah, so I teach music and dance at the University of Education, Winneba, with the Department of Institute of Distance and E-Learning. And then I'm also a consultant for creative art business and intellectual property.
So, what is talent and what is creativity?
Okay.
The difference between it.
The difference between it. Right. So creativity starts with ideas. Like you imagine how you can create something to help people. And then it doesn't happen spontaneously. You need to work at it. So there are some processes where you have the idea, it has to go through what we call incubation, where you find things to help that idea become materialized. Assuming that this book you are using, you have an idea that you want to create something that this book by itself will open without you opening it. That idea in your mind is not a talent, it's a creativity. But for it to become real, you have to seek other people's ideas, how you can fuse their ideas into your idea to make it work. When that happens, then somebody will think, wow, you are very creative, right? So that is the creative aspect. When it talks about talent is also linked to creativity. But then, in this case, talent becomes like the flexibility to do it without any other person's intervention. For example, if you learn how to play a drum, or if you learn how to sing, and then you are just introduced to the singing aspect. Okay, learn how to sing with these notes. And then out of your own, you are able to use the same notes, but then bring out the volume of the music loud and soft, creates a dynamics. Then somebody will say, wow, you got talent. So in talent, you are being told what to do. And then in creativity, you have the ideas and you make it possible.
Okay. Sir, please, how do the parents know the kind of talent their children have?
Okay, right. So a parent can identify the talent they have by first doing some little research about your child. First, there are two types of research. There's what we call participant observation, where the parent begins to play with the child to see the things they are doing, and then to be able to reason along with the child to see this is what and what they are trying to do. So indirectly, you become a mentor to your child. You are training your child and also learning from them what they want to do. So when you identify that talent, that's when you help them. Another aspect is what we call non-participatory observation, where a parent stay behind and then observe a child do something. And then you begin to see that, wow, this child on his or her own is using wooden blocks, using pencil or pen, making some drawings, creating things without me helping that child. That is talent. And it starts from ideas. So they are creating something. So you see that talent from there. So parents will have to take time, because sometimes children could be creating things whilst destroying other things. For example, they'll be taking a knife and be cutting wood. They'll be taking pens and be opening it and then smearing it at home. If you don't have patience, you might think that they are destroying things, but they are trying to create something they don't know. They have the idea, they cannot communicate to you. So parents will have to take time and observe their children, but rather help them to understand what they're doing, but stop shouting at children. When you do that, then you are pushing their creativity away.
how should parents guide their children?
Okay, so by guiding them, first you have to teach children about some basic principles about safety. Because if a child doesn't know that this cable here has electricity that can kill you, the child, out of their own creativity, will tamper with it and then get injured. Or a child might be thinking that, okay, this bottle of chemical something here, I can make use of it, but that chemical is so poisonous. So a parent will have to find every item that are not child friendly, put them at a range where children cannot reach out to. Okay, so that is one. Two, parents will also have to identify places where electricity children cannot have easy access to them. Because when children get to know that this place I can get electricity from and they can have easily access, they will do something and get injured. So parents will have to find safety measures, put things that cannot harm children, out of the reach of the children, and also guide children that this place you have to go, this place you can't go, and give them reasons. If you don't do that, a child will begin to process the reason why I'm being restricted not to do this or that, and before you know, they will tempt it.
So do children even know the talent they are possessing?
Right. So some children, if they are very proactive, they know the talents they have, because they are proactive because they observe a lot, they watch a lot of other things, not only on TV, but in social life. They're able to look at people's way of doing things, and you see them paying attention to something which is not on TV, but they are watching keenly, and then they pick inspirations from them and they identify their talent at the age of sometimes 3 or 4 or 5. Others also watch from their parents. There are some children that I've worked with that identify their talent from their parents, because they see their parent doing something and then they learn from it, and then they also pick up.
So how can children themselves help in building up their creativity or talents?
Okay, great. So a child listening to me or watching me today, I will tell you this: get a book or get any paper that you can write every idea that comes into your mind. That's how creativity begins, by writing every idea that comes into your mind. Maybe you are watching TV and you didn't like what you saw on the TV, and then you are thinking of creating something to solve that problem. Quickly write it down, because if you don't write it at that moment, that idea will fly off your head and then you won't remember again. So that's one thing. Two, when you write it down, take time to read over the things you write, and then everything you start, make sure that every time you go back to it and try and work on it till it becomes perfect. If you don't finish any creativity, you are not creative. It's only when you finish it and it becomes useful, that is when your creativity gets known.
So are there laws governing creativity by children?
Okay, for children there are laws. For example, as I spoke about safety, there are certain things and there are health also implications. There are some things a child cannot lift because your waist and your muscles are not strong enough to lift them. So children will have to know their limit as to the things they can lift, the things they can get close to, and even in terms of fire and in terms of liquids which are poisonous, they have to be able to know. Parents have to guide them so that they don't get too much involved and harm themselves. Right, so with the laws governing creativity, there is intellectual property laws that every country has signed to by the World Intellectual Property Organization. In Ghana here, we have the copyright law that says that even if you are a child, you can create something, and then with an adult supervision, because you need to be 18 years and above before you can register that creativity. So that is one. So an adult needs to go with you to the copyright office to register your creativity. And then also your ideas cannot be registered. It's only when you reproduce your ideas into something that is fixed that you enjoy protection. So there are two types of laws governing creativity. One is you have economic right, where it grants you the liberty to enjoy economic benefit of your creativity till your lifetime, and then your name being associated with your work. That Sylvia created this device, or created this camera, or created this TV you are watching. So Sylvia's name must be on that TV forever. It will never cease. So these are the laws. As for the aspect of demand and supply about creativity, it's basically about how you product your creativity, how you brand it, and how you sell it, and how people get to buy it, and how you can be able to know the difference between how much you can sell to make profit, because it's all about money.
So, sir, what advice would you give to children and parents?
So the advice I'll give to children is this: watching too much things that are not productive are not good. There are some children, they will sit and then just be looking at something which of no use. They'll be watching something on TV, not even on this generation TV, but they'll be watching something else. And you must be careful that your age, you have a limit to things you can take in.
Sir, please, may I ask, what are some of the things?
So some of the things are watching things on TV which are in your age category. If you are watching TV, you see that there's a U, it means universal, everybody can watch. If you are watching TV and you know you are 8 years and the TV you are watching, it is rated 12, you cannot watch it because it's way above you. You will see things which will give you hallucination. It will disturb your creativity because your mind works by your age. And if you watch things which are horrible, it's going to put your creativity upside down and you begin to have abnormality in your brain development. So that is one thing about children. As for parents, all that I will have to say is that children are creative. They are very creative right from the day they are born. So parents should take time and study their children and not put them down by spirit, saying words to disencourage the way they think, saying words to prevent them from the things they want to create by just shouting on them and stopping them with every initiative they make. They should help their children discover the creative things that they have in them so that their talent can be manifested.
Thank you, sir, for making this show tonight.
Thank you very much.
So, sir, and on this show, when we come, we don't make you go like that.
Wow.
So we are going to give you a test.
A test?
Can you sing one song?
So what song?
When you were a child, the song was to sing.
Oh, when I was a child. Wow. Okay, so I remember Sa sa koma nine wo chichi kukoma Osionke ye juma nine wo chichi kukoma Nine wo neje wo Sa sa koma nine wo chichi kukoma Osionke ye juma nine wo chichi kukoma. This is Bnoskka, I'm telling you.
Thank you, lovely viewers, for watching the Jinto segment on this generation. As you know, this show is proudly supported by FD Mobile. And with FD Mobile, you can watch TV anytime, anywhere. And if you're in school, a church, or a children's service, and you want to feature on our program, just call the number 055-137-6979. I am Sylvia Yakah, and I had the discussion with
Benjamin Odro Ahen, aka Bnoskka. I'm telling you.
Thank you for coming.
Bless you.
This generation,
we are inspired.